What's up, Moxie? I'm here to talk to you guys about HomeWOD day number 30, okay? So we have a few cool things going on today. First of all, we have some mobility work programmed. I would definitely recommend you hit this because today's gonna have some relatively intense stressors, all right? So get a few minutes of couch stretch in there, 2 to 3 minutes per side, a few minutes rolling out your calves, as well as some PVC pass-throughs just to keep your shoulders moving through a full kind of rotational range of motion, all right? So definitely recommend you get after that. You can hit your mobility before or after the day. It's just gonna keep everything feeling good and moving well. Now, besides that, we have 2 conditioning options today. One is the Support Your Local Box workout number 2. This was released on Friday, so if you just hit that for fun over the weekend sometime, you don't have to redo that today. And then our other option is gonna be a combination of waiter squats and burpees over the dumbbell, okay? To dive into the Support Your Local Box workout number 2 a little bit, this is a little bit of a different stimulus than the first workout, right? The first workout was a 10-minute grinder where you just had to keep fighting through some relatively easy to move movements, and it was just a conditioning burner, right? I had Fran lung for about 30 minutes after that one. It was pretty gross. This one is actually much more of a muscular endurance test, interestingly enough. So the second workout, it's 100 double unders, 21 burpees, 75 double unders, 15 burpees, 50 double unders, and 15 burpees. Nothing special on the burpees, just a small jump to finish each rep. The thing that really starts to burn on this workout is your shoulders, right? So just be aware of that whenever you're going into the workout, that probably somewhere in that first set of 21, you're really gonna start notice that your shoulders are feeling taxed. So, and then that only escalates further. I had to break up my set of both 75 and 50 once or twice just because my shoulders were burning out, all right? So to that end, make sure that you break the double unders intentionally. I think it's much better just from a mental perspective to have intentional breaks on double unders than to go until you trip and then reset and then go until you trip and so on and so forth, right? So have those intentional breaks in there. Try to keep those shoulders fresh, because if we can get through our set, all of our sets with just 1, maybe 2 breaks, instead of going to 3 or 4 or 5, it's gonna make a big difference, especially on those later rounds, all right? The alternative workout, if we've already done the Support Your Local Box, is called Octane. It's 21-15-9 of waiter squats on both sides, and then burpees over either a dumbbell or an odd object, okay? So for the waiter squats today, even if we don't have access to a dumbbell or a kettlebell, if we're using some sort of weighted backpack or other odd object, I still want us to get that unilateral loading. So we're gonna be holding the weight on one shoulder. We'll do all of our squats on that side. So it would, on round 1, that would be 21. Then we'll swap sides, 21 on the other side, and then we'll do 21 burpees over our object. So one thing that we do need to think about on this workout is that even though it looks like a 21-15-9 workout, it's really double the reps of squatting. And what that's going to produce, especially with a jump over an object in a burpee, is that our legs are likely going to start blowing up somewhere late in the round of 21 on burpees, and it's only going to escalate as we go through, all right? So just kind of be thinking about that in terms of how we pace this workout. Maybe that means that on the round of 21, we're not going to try and just blaze through all 42 of our waiter squats and then, maybe start slowing down significantly on the burpees. Have intentional breaks there. Maybe it's just between shoulders on the squats and then moving smoothly on the burpees, but make sure that we don't kill the round of 21 and then just crash and burn on the round of 9. Let's try to do it the other way around, where we have a really controlled round of 21 and then we're just crushing that round of 9 reps, okay? And then our last piece of the day, once we've done our conditioning, is we have some barbell training, all right? We talked about that on a video on Instagram. You can go check that out. But today what it's gonna be is our hinge focused day. We're gonna be doing every 3 minutes for 5 sets, a set of sumo deadlifts, regardless of if we have a barbell or if we don't, and some jumps over a PVC. On the sumo deadlifts today, let's be sure that we're keeping our torso upright through the whole movement. It should never be kind of inclined down towards the ground. As well, I want you to think about trying to squeeze the weight off the ground today, so that whenever we're down in that setup position, instead of just thinking of kind of pulling off the ground, which is going to generally make us load our hamstrings and our back a little bit more, if we think about squeezing the weight off the ground or pushing our feet down, that's going to turn on our hips and our glutes, and that's a lot more of what we're going for whenever we're working on sumo deadlifts, okay? One thing I do want to note, if we're not using a barbell today, let's try to increase our range of motion a little bit since we're going to be using some lighter loads. So instead of just going down to mid shin, maybe try to go down 2 or 3 extra inches, and that's just going to make that sumo deadlift a lot more challenging. All right. The other thing that we can do to make sumo deadlift more challenging without a barbell is add an eccentric, right? And what that's going to allow us to do, maybe if it's just 2 seconds from our top down to our setup position, it's going to give us a little bit more time under tension, and it's going to give us just a much better overall response from this training piece, all right? So let me know how it goes, guys. Log those results from SugarWOD, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.